You could tell him to lean over a table and then you spank him. You could also use your body weights to restrain him by laying on him. Or alternatively, you could try giving him brains with, chilled water or champagne in your mouth. And if he doesn't make you come first, then you're going to spank him. And oh my God, when you do this, just immediately watch how you light up his fire. He's fire! Fire, girl! Fire! Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence and I come with a lot of juicy content. On today's episode, we're talking about blindfolding and the magic that it can create in your bedroom. Okay, I know that you already must have done this probably, but hear me out, okay? Hear me out. There is something about being blindfolded. There is something about blindfolds. It's just the feeling of helplessness for me, the feeling of hopelessness, not knowing what is being done to you, not knowing what's happening around your surrounding, not knowing what is being done on you. Then you observing that your other senses are being heightened because, you've been blindfolded. When you're blind, when one of your senses isn't functioning, your other senses in your body now becomes really heightened and really sensitive. Now, I don't want to tell you how you can blindfold your man. That's the easy part. Just use a towel or eye mask, or maybe just go buy a blindfold, right? But it is what you do while he's being blindfolded that's important to me, and that's what I want to talk about. All right, so with this in mind, here are some few kinky things that you could do to your man while he's being blindfolded. Okay. Now, when your man is blindfolded, you're going to tease him with some hot and cold sensation. All right, the fun part of this is that he's not going to know when you're going to change from one temperature to another, because that's the magic. So what you're going to do is that you're going to run, ice cube over his sensitive areas that you're familiar with by now. And don't forget his lips. His lips got, lots of sensory nerve endings. So you could tease him with something cold, all right? Now you could take some warm chocolate sauce that you've melted on fire and make sure that it is warm or tepid, warm enough to put it in your mouth, and then you could start giving him brains. But just make sure that it is not so hot that it burns him out, okay? And oh my God, when you do this, just immediately watch how you light up his fire. He's fire! Fire, girl! Fire! Just watch how you light his fire. Or alternatively, you could try giving him brains with, chilled water or champagne in your mouth. Listen, the goal is not to make him reach his climax. You're just teasing. We're just teasing, girl, okay? You want him to gasp, you want him to whine, you want him to moan and, beg for it. Now next, we still have him blindfolded, all right? We're blindfolding him in this session. Now you can play a simple question and answer game, and you can just give him a reward or punishment depending on his answer, right? So this thing that we're doing currently now is what we call reward and punishment game. Because look, a very simple way to make your sex life a lot more kinkier is to introduce reward and punishment game. A lot of people just get into the bedroom and bam, 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 they're done. No, sometimes you have to just push the end goal of your intimacy by playing games. You can infuse games, and reward and punishment game is one very key way to make it a little more exciting. Now you need to understand one important thing when using reward and punishments in your bedroom. It's about having fun, all right? It's not about controlling your partner. If you use reward and punishment to control your man, then he's going to resent you, all right? And you don't want that. But if you use them only to make your intimate life more exciting, then you're going to have a lot of fun with him. So let me give you some ideas on how you could go about, using the reward and punishment game in your bedroom. Now, when he gets a question wrong, you could tell him that his punishment is to make you come first, and that's your reward. And if he doesn't make you come first, then you're going to spank him. Or he gets no orgasm for a week. he's not going to touch himself to come to an orgasm. You're not going to bring him to an orgasm if he breaks whatever rule of the game that you guys have. Then another game is that he gets 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes of penetration before he comes. If not, he has to go down on you. Now, if this is the case of a guy, all right, trying to do the reward or punishment game, you can tell her that she will wake you up. She must have to wake you up in the morning with brains. If not, she needs to give you brains while you watch TV. Or maybe when both of you are performing the 6 to 9 position, the first person who has an orgasm is the loser. And then that loser has to bring the winner breakfast every morning throughout the week till the weekend, all right? Those are examples of the reward and punishment game that you could try. So it's up to you how difficult you want it to be. So other punishment that you could use could come in form of spanking, it could come in form of tickling, it could come in form of face slapping, not very serious or very light face slapping. It could come in form of pinching, you know, grabbing his balls, but slightly, not so hard, okay? So these are games that are bound to spice your bedroom. You can also lead your man somewhere else when you've blindfolded him. And it can be somewhere boring, like, you know, another bedroom or the living room. But if you want to be a lot kinkier, then you could bring him down to the basement or to your garage. Now, the other good thing about blindfolding your man is that you will find that there is less pressure on you. If you're the type of woman who feels pressure to put on a performance for your man, or maybe you feel self-conscious about yourself during lovemaking, then making him wear a blindfold could help you out. But you need to also understand that you can't always blindfold him, so you have to deal with whatever makes you self-conscious around your man. Sometimes I say this, that when men really love you, they really don't care about your flaws, all right? They don't even see it. Even if they see it, they don't use it against you. And then again, let's not forget that you could add restraint to blindfolding your man, because I believe that cutting off his sight and then restraining him is the best way to render him helpless and incapacitated in something as steamy as what you're about to do. So restraint here has, you know, limitless possibilities when it comes to bringing in your kinks in the bedroom. Now, I would give you some of my favorite ways for you to use restraint to spice up your bedroom, all right? To spice up things in the bedroom. Now, you can use your body on his body. I tell you, this is the easiest because, you know, it doesn't require any equipment. You could use your hands to pin your man's hands way above his head or behind his back, or you could just pin him by his sides, all right? You could pin his hands by his side. You could also use your body weights to restrain him by laying on him, all right? Even though I know that men are very strong, but when it comes to that, they are sort of a little bit weak because you're jelly, sort of. Or better still, you could use handcuffs, you could use his tie, you know, you could use rope, you could use other restraining equipment. You could tie his ankles to an ankle spreader bar to leave him much more vulnerable. Now, listen, ladies, I need you to understand that when you blindfold someone, they basically are at your mercy. And of course, this is something that you both have expressly agreed to do before, you know, it commences. Even at that, you have to check in between to find out that they're still in the mood for more, or they're okay or they're not okay with it. If you figure out that they are okay with it, then you can introduce spanking. The first thing that you need to know about this kinky idea called spanking is that some people find spanking incredibly hot and arousing, while others don't really enjoy it at all. Not everyone enjoys pain and pleasure. So you could literally make your man cry with pleasure and pain at the same time if he loves it. It all comes down to personal preference. Do you get what I mean? Here are some few ways that you could just go about spanking your man. Now, during lovemaking, if your man is on top of you or in any position where it's easy for you to reach his bum, then you could try spanking him. Just use an open palm. And if you like, you could lightly grab him or rub him after you hit his backside. Now the key is experimenting and seeing what his response is like at best. I'm sure he's going to like it. Men love it. So if you're playing a kinky intimate game with your man and he fails a task, or if you caught him doing something naughty or something forbidden, then you will want to punish him with a spanking. All right, you can tell him to get on all fours or to remain standing, and then he places his hands against the wall, or even you can tell him to lean over a table and then you spank him. It's just a simple case of, you know, handing out his punishment when he's been a bad boy, you know. And furthermore, I think a great way to also inflict your will on your man when you're spanking him is to make him count each strike. So if you're spanking him, tell him to count. So he counts 1, 2, 3, you know, for that gets him pretty much excited and gets you pretty much in your dominant mood. Do you get what I mean? Now, here's one big warning when it comes to spanking. Spanking can actually leave marks, all right, on your man's backside or on your partner's backside. It can cause small amounts of damage to the skin and the tissue on your man's backside, all right, provided you aren't striking too vigorously. He will be fine. However, if you spank him on his kidney, all right, if you spank him on his kidney or on his spine, then you're going to cause serious damage. Don't do this, all right? My advice is to focus on his backside because his bum has like fat, and you know, his bum has a lot of fat, so it can act as a cushion. So with that, we've come to the end of this episode on blindfolding and the magic it creates in your bedroom. Until I come your way with another hot sizzling episode, don't forget to subscribe and share, okay? All my love.